Well, there's not a week that doesn't go by where you don't see a report of another piece of the puzzle to understand the molecular underpinnings of a, say, glioblastoma. Excuse me. And sometimes that's a new gene that was identified to be contributing to the disease or to a subpopulation of patients with the disease, or it's a new understanding of a connection between a couple of different pathways that are driving the disease, making tumor cells grow or making tumor cells migrate, or making tumor cells draw blood vessels to themselves. So there's about a dozen different parts that we think of that make cancers cancer. And each one of those little pieces is an engineering problem, as I mentioned before. And there's different pieces to each of those, and those are all interconnected. So my point is that the puzzle pieces are numerous, and there are literally, thousands and thousands of them, and each week new ones are discovered by one group or another, whether it's here in the United States or in China or Europe or wherever. So those puzzle pieces keep coming in, and those puzzle pieces have to do with the immune system as well. A lot of people don't realize that, and I would speculate that we will ultimately classify all cancers both from the genetic side of the cancer itself. So what are the little pieces about the tumor cells? What are the genetic changes within a tumor cell or group of cells that make it grow, that make more of itself? Okay, that's part of one understanding. And then the other side of it is, what is it that makes this person have a tumor that grows, this person have a tumor that doesn't grow, with all other things being equal? And that is very likely an immunologic phenomenon. And understanding that, what is it is about this person's immune system that's not working right versus this one who is responding to the disease, how is that happening? And we're starting to uncover some of it, but it's still early days on that. The understanding of cancers with respect to the immune system's response to cancer is something, there was a Nobel Prize awarded this year for the discovery of CTLA-4, which is a way that tumor cells hide themselves from the immune system. And as your audience is probably aware, drugs have been developed that target that and other things called checkpoint inhibitors that have essentially changed the lives of thousands and thousands of people. There are people now alive that would not be alive today if it weren't for those discoveries and these new drugs that have been developed that go after those discoveries. In fact, some of that's relevant to neuro-oncology in the sense that there are patients today, and this is something I see on a weekly basis, patients that say have melanoma, skin cancer that's a severe skin cancer. Sometimes that gets into the brain. It's actually pretty common to get into the brain. Well, when I first started in my career, or even in the middle of my career, I remember writing papers about this and publishing papers on this very topic of our survival. What are our survivals for these patients? Well, we talk about survivals on the order of 2 months, 3 months, 6 months for these people with this bad problem. Well, now I have patients that are 5, 6, 10 years from their diagnosis of melanoma metastatic to the brain. Why is that? Well, it's because of these new treatments. So these are phenomenal things. They're not the primary brain tumors that a lot of neuro-oncology is focused on, but it's metastatic brain tumor. And the thing that I think people should take away from that is that if we can do that with metastases, then we can do it with the primary brain tumors as well. And that should be a reason for great hope for patients. The current set of medicines that are used for, say, melanoma and these other malignancies don't appear to work that well in patients that have, say, glioblastoma or other primary brain tumors. However, there are some early signals that some newer molecules that work on different parts of the immune system are having an impact. So I think people can be really look forward to that. I think within the next 2 to 3 years we're going to see that come to fruition for patients.